What if survival didn't depend on the herd, but on standing completely alone? Close your eyes for a moment. Picture a frozen mountain, silent and endless. The air is thin. The cold cuts deep. And there, barely visible against the snow, a single snow leopard moves across the cliffs. No pack. No backup. No second chance. Just instinct, patience, and absolute focus. Now shift your mind to a dense jungle. Thick leaves. Heavy shadows. The sound of your own heartbeat feels loud. Somewhere nearby, a lone tiger glides through the trees. You don't hear it. You don't see it. But it sees you. Every step is careful. Every movement is calculated. Alone, yet completely in control. This is the hidden side of the wild. A world where solitude is not weakness. It is power. You see, in a world obsessed with numbers, crowds, packs, herds, and followers, some of nature's most legendary animals survive by choosing isolation. They don't rely on others to hunt. They don't depend on groups for protection. They rely on sharp senses, deep intelligence, and a quiet strength most of us rarely notice. And that's why this story matters. Because these solitary animals are often misunderstood. Some are feared. Some are ignored. Some are vanishing right in front of us, silently. Yet their lives reveal something profound about resilience, patience, and survival in its purest form. In this journey, you're going to discover how solitary animals hunt without help, how they think without guidance, how they survive without support, and how they may even communicate in ways science is still trying to understand. You'll see why being alone doesn't make them weaker, it often makes them sharper. But here's the question that changes everything. Are these animals truly alone? Or are they connected to the natural world in ways we still don't fully understand? Now before we dive deeper, take a second and tell me, comment, I love wildlife, if you believe animals deserve protection and respect. And before we begin, Wildlife Miracle TV invites you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for helping our wildlife documentary family grow to 1,000 subscribers, then 5,000, 10,000, and more. Now, let's begin where the silence truly speaks. High above the world you know, where the mountains scrape the sky, and the wind never rests, a shadow moves across the ice. You don't hear it. You barely see it. A snow leopard steps from stone to stone, its body flowing like water over rock. One mistake here means death. There is no rescue. No second chance. Just cold air, sharp cliffs, and absolute focus. This animal can cross entire mountain ranges without ever being noticed. Years can pass without a single human seeing one. That's why some local communities believe snow leopards are not just animals, they are spirits of the mountains themselves. Guardians of frozen worlds. Silent watchers of time. And when you look closer, you understand why. That long, thick tail you see trailing behind it is not just beautiful. It's a lifeline. It acts as a counterweight on impossible cliffs and wraps around the body like a scarf in deadly cold. Its chest is wide, its nasal passages large, pulling thin air deep into powerful lungs. Every part of this animal is built for survival where almost nothing else can live. And then there's the fur. Gray. White. Speckled like snow and stone. A natural camouflage so perfect that even trained researchers can look directly at a snow leopard and never realize it's there. You think you're alone, until the mountain reminds you that you are not. Yet despite its strength, despite its power, the snow leopard avoids humans almost completely. It doesn't seek conflict. It doesn't hunt for domination. It survives through patience. Through awareness. Through knowing when to move, and when to disappear. There's something deeply human in that lesson. Because solitude in the wild sharpens the senses. It teaches timing. It rewards stillness. And it proves that patience can be more powerful than force. But mountains aren't the only place where solitude creates legends. Deep in the jungle, where sunlight breaks into pieces and shadows breathe, a single tiger moves through the forest. This animal controls a territory so large it can stretch farther than entire cities. No pride walks beside it. No pack answers its call. There is no backup here. Every path is memorized. Every scent is known. Every sound tells a story. The tiger doesn't roar often, it doesn't need to. Its presence alone reshapes the forest. Other animals sense it long before they see it. Not because it announces itself, but because it understands something most creatures never will: silence is power. A tiger's solitary life isn't loneliness. It's strategy. By living alone, competition disappears. Food lasts longer. Territory stays secure. And when the hunt begins, there is no confusion. No miscommunication. Just one mind. One body. One perfectly timed strike. Many people believe tigers are loners because they are antisocial or aggressive. But that's not the truth. Tigers are solitary because they must be. Their survival depends on space, control, and precision. And there's another lesson hidden here. Leadership doesn't always need followers. Strength doesn't always need noise. Sometimes the strongest presence in the room is the one you never see coming. Yet even in the ocean, where the world seems endless and open, solitude tells a very different story. Out in the deep blue, there are no trees. No mountains. No trails. Just water stretching forever in every direction. And within that vast emptiness, a great white shark moves forward without hesitation. No landmarks guide it. No companions swim beside it. Just motion. This animal can travel thousands of kilometers across open ocean completely alone. It doesn't rely on sight alone. It feels the world. Hidden within its body is a sense humans don't possess: electroreception. The ability to detect the faint electrical signals of a heartbeat beneath sand or in dark water. To the great white, silence is information. Despite how movies portray it, this shark is not a mindless killer. It is cautious. Calculated. Curious. Many encounters end with investigation, not attack. The great white survives not through chaos, but through restraint. Independence sharpens instinct here. With no one else to rely on, every decision matters. Every movement counts. And silence becomes the ultimate survival tool. But solitude isn't always about power. Sometimes, it's about surviving against impossible odds. Sometimes, solitude doesn't roar. Sometimes, it thinks. High in the rainforest canopy, where the air is thick and the world below feels distant, a single orangutan moves slowly through the trees. Not because it is weak. Not because it is unsure. But because every move is deliberate. Thoughtful. Planned. As the sun begins to fade, this orangutan does something remarkable. It builds a nest. Not once in a lifetime. Not once a week. Every single night. A fresh bed, carefully woven from branches and leaves, high above the forest floor. Safe from predators. Sheltered from rain. Perfectly placed. Then, when morning comes, it leaves it behind and builds another. Living alone in the treetops means food is scarce. Fruit doesn't grow everywhere. And that's why solitude matters here. By staying apart, orangutans reduce competition. They remember where trees fruit season after season. They plan routes days in advance. Their minds are constantly working, solving problems quietly. Yet many people mistake this slow, calm behavior for laziness. But the truth is, orangutans are among the most intelligent animals on Earth. They use tools. They learn by watching. They remember. They adapt. Their solitude creates space for thinking, and thinking creates survival. There's a lesson hidden in their silence. Intelligence doesn't always shout. Wisdom doesn't rush. And reflection is never weakness. And finally, a hunter so quiet, even darkness cannot hide from. Night falls and the forest changes. Sounds soften. Shapes blur. And under the glow of the moon, a shadow lifts from a branch and glides through the air. An owl. You don't hear its wings. You don't sense its approach. The prey below has no warning. No chance. Silence wraps around the owl like a cloak. This is not magic. It is design. Specialized feathers break up air as it flows across the wings, eliminating sound. Every flap is engineered for silence. And then there are the ears, unevenly placed on the owl's head. This asymmetry allows it to locate prey with terrifying precision, even in complete darkness. The owl doesn't need speed. It doesn't need noise. It needs awareness. For centuries, humans have associated owls with fear, superstition, or mystery. But in truth, owls are protectors of balance. They control rodent populations. They stabilize ecosystems. Their quiet presence keeps the night in order. There is power in watching. There is strength in listening. And awareness will always beat speed. These animals don't just survive alone. They redefine what it means to be strong. And yet, for all their strength, all their intelligence, all their quiet power, these animals live on a fragile edge. Because the silence that protects them can also erase them. Forests fall without warning. Mountains are carved apart. Oceans warm and empty. And when a solitary animal disappears, there is no crowd to notice. No herd to raise alarm. No pack to leave traces behind. They vanish quietly, unseen, unheard, and often unrecorded. Habitat loss pushes them into shrinking spaces. Poaching hunts them not for survival, but for profit. Climate change shifts the seasons they depend on, breaking ancient patterns written into instinct. And for animals that live alone, these changes can be deadly. A snow leopard lost in the mountains may never be found. A tiger gone from the jungle leaves only silence. An owl that never returns to its perch leaves no witness behind. But here is the truth we often miss. These animals are not lonely. They are legends shaped by nature itself. They were designed for solitude. Forged by patience. Refined by time. Their survival is not accidental, it is a masterpiece of evolution. And now, their future depends on something entirely new, human choice. Every road built. Every forest cleared. Every plastic trail in the ocean. Every decision ripples into their world. Whether we see them or not, our actions reach them. And that means you matter here. Even a small effort, sharing this video, respecting wildlife, supporting conservation, choosing sustainable habits, can protect these miracles. Awareness is not passive. It is powerful. It changes policies. It saves habitats. It gives these silent legends a fighting chance. And there is hope. Because in some regions, conservation is working. Populations are stabilizing. Forests are being protected. Oceans are being watched more closely. When people care, nature responds. By listening to these stories, you are no longer just watching from a distance. You are part of the story now. A witness. A protector. A voice for those who survive in silence. And sometimes, that is exactly what the wild has been waiting for. So now take a moment and let it all sink in. UVE walked across frozen mountains with the snow leopard, a ghost of stone and ice. UVE moved through dense jungle shadows with the tiger, a silent ruler of its world. UVE drifted through the endless blue with the great white shark, guided by instinct alone. UVE climbed high into the rainforest canopy with the orangutan, where intelligence lives in quiet thought. And you've entered the night with the owl, a guardian whose power is built on awareness, not noise. Different worlds. Different lives. Yet the same lesson echoes through all of them. Strength comes in many forms. Sometimes it is speed. Sometimes it is patience. Sometimes it is intelligence. And sometimes it is the courage to stand alone. Now I want to hear from you. Which solitary animal surprised you the most? And do you think solitude makes animals stronger or more vulnerable? There is no single answer. That's the beauty of the wild. Every perspective adds something new, and your voice belongs in that conversation. And if you love discovering the wonders of nature, if stories like these make you pause, think, and see the world differently, subscribe to Wildlife Miracle TV. New miracles await you in every video. As you step away from this moment, listen closely to the world around you. The wind. The trees. The quiet spaces in between. Because in a noisy world, some legends are born in silence.